We've been talking about a lot of issues, including warrantless wiretapping. Let's go to Jeff in Seattle, Washington. Hey, Jeff.
How's it going?
Per good.
Hey, man, what's the big worry? These are overseas calls coming from overseas. Are you somebody going to be calling you? You worry about what they're be telling you? I mean, what's the big worry here?
All right, Jeff, first, before I answer that question, let me throw it back at you. What's the big worry for the telecoms? If they didn't break any laws, they don't have anything to worry about, so we shouldn't give them immunity, right?
I think they're being patriotic for helping out the government by watching our bad guys trying to call in here.
So if they break U.S. law, that's being patriotic, right?
Hey, man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to protect our country.
Oh, right. Just like Oliver North, right? I mean, he was being patriotic when he sold weapons to Iran.
Hey, and you know what happened to Iran when Jimmy Carter gave the Ayatollah excuse me, I'm nervous. I never call him talk shows.
That's all right. Go ahead.
When Jimmy Carter dethroned the Shah of Iran, that's when we had all this problem started. It's exactly when all these problems started.
No, I know, of course. Sure, of course. Listen, it's always the Democrats' fault. I know it's Jimmy Carter's fault and Bill Clinton's fault, everything that's ever happened. But could you just specifically answer the question, was Oliver North being patriotic when he sold weapons to the Ayatollahs in Iran?
In the big picture, yes.
Oh, of course, right. So has a Republican who's broken the law ever not been patriotic?
Oh, no, there's bad Republicans, too.
Oh, there are? Oh, okay. I thought for a second the Republicans were above the law. Okay, my bad. So let's get back to FISA then. So you're saying if the telecoms break the law, U.S. law, that says, hey, don't spy on Americans, that's okay because they're helping the Republicans. So, but if I break the law, then I got a world of pain coming my way, right?
Like I said, the big picture, man, it's all about protecting us.
It's all about protecting us. So we can do anything, the government can do pretty much anything to protect us. Does that make sense to you, Jeff?
No, both parties have evil in it. But man, I'll tell you, but the lesser of the two evils is the Republican Party, there's no doubt. Oh,
the lesser of the two evils. Really? What's the evil on the Democratic side?
Oh, everything they stand for, they have no values, man.
No values.
Anything goes. Anything freaking goes.
Jeff, let me understand this. So Republicans are allowed to break the law, but the Democrats have no values. Is that what you're saying?
No, they break the law too.
Oh, really? Where? How? They're breaking the FISA law? I didn't know that. I'll get all over it. I'm with you.
Yeah, I still don't see what your big fear is, big guy.
Okay, all right. So let me answer your question, Jeff. I hear you. You've been less than 50-50 on answering my questions, but I'll answer your question. Here's the thing, Jeff. If it's foreign-to-foreign calls, that's already legal, and I'm with you. And when they say to you, hey, it's just foreign calls, they're lying to you. Because everybody's in favor of that. Senator Feingold wrote a bill saying let's intercept foreign-to-foreign calls. That's called spying. Every country does it. We do it, and we should do it, okay? But when they say foreign to local, and then Cheney says, oh, yeah, we should do that, you know what that means? If you're talking to your aunt in Canada, they can listen in. Now, normally, it doesn't mean that we should never listen to local to foreign calls. If they think your aunt's a terrorist or you're a terrorist, they can listen in on that. It's the easiest warrant in the world. They just go to the court. They say, hey, it turns out Jeff in Seattle's talking to his aunt in Canada, and they're the wildest terrorists we've ever seen, or they're even the slightest terrorist. They'll give you a warrant to listen in on that. Now, that's the law. What would be wrong with getting that warrant?
Got nothing to hide. Anybody who calls in here, I'm not Mamba. I'm not trying to get little boys on the internet. I'm not dealing with drugs.
You've got nothing to hide. Jeff, do you know that? Jeff, do you know? I assume you hate the communists. Do you know that that's the number one thing that they would say in police states in the communist era? Well, if you got nothing to hide, why do you mind Stasi or the KGB listening in on you? If you got nothing to hide, you got nothing to worry about.
I know there's a fine line there.
Oh, there is. Okay. I thought maybe there was no line. Okay. And so where's the fine line? I thought the fine line was the Constitution that said you need a warrant.
Okay, are you saying we shouldn't do it at all?
I just explained to you. Foreign to foreign, do it to your pleasure. Foreign to local or local to local. If you have the slightest suspicion, I'll give you the warrant myself. Okay, I'll go down to the FISA court with you. Because we need to do the spying if we got any suspicion. But what I'm saying is, don't listen in on Jeff's calls, don't listen on his aunt's calls, don't listen in on my calls, because we're innocent Americans. Listen only if you have a suspicion. But if you don't listen, that by definition means, if you don't have a suspicion, but that by definition means you're listening on innocent Americans' calls. And you think they won't abuse that system? They've already listened in and spied in on the Quakers and vegans and anybody who was vaguely liberal that didn't have anything to do with terrorism. Quakers say, by definition, are nonviolent. Why did they spy on them? I mean, that's like saying, okay, no, the terrorists hit us and it worked. And so they're right. All our civil liberties don't make any sense, so let's change them. That's giving in to Al-Qaeda. That's quitting. That's terrible. I mean, to give up what we stand for because Al-Qaeda hit us once, you know, you can argue they hit us in 1993 and some of the other bombings too, but I don't care how many times they hit us. Doesn't mean you give up what it means to be an American. That's what these people don't understand. It all starts with, hey, what do you have to worry about if you're not doing anything wrong? Then it goes to, well, I'm going to kill you even though you're doing absolutely nothing wrong. That's what happens in police states. And by the way, anyone who tells you that argument, oh, well, if you don't have anything to worry about if you're not doing anything wrong, then okay, then you want to live in a police state. That's what you're saying. No, I mean, like, it sounds like it's a hyperbole, but it's not. It's literally what you're saying. You're saying, I'm willing to have the police listen in on and watch me at all times because I never do anything wrong. Okay, whether you do something wrong or you don't do something wrong, that's not the country we signed up for. That's not America. If you wanted to live in a country like that, man, East Germany was perfect for you. You missed the boat, man. You would have loved East Germany. They listened in on everything you did. Whether you did something wrong or you didn't do something wrong, they listened in anyway. If you like living that way, man, you would have loved communism. Would have loved it. The way the Soviets and the East Germans ran it, whew, and all through Eastern Europe. It's called the Fourth Amendment. And if you don't believe in the Fourth Amendment, and you don't believe in the Bill of Rights, and you don't believe in the United States Constitution, I got to ask you, how American are you? There is a fine line. It's called the United States Constitution, Fourth Amendment, also a 1978 federal law called FISA, and it's a perfectly good law. Follow it.